welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be working on the Nissan Skyline that's directly here behind me. I've already worked on it a little bit in the past, but today we're officially going to start one side of the wide body. The last time I worked on this, I replaced this fender and took off the rear quarter panel that was on there, and today we're going to be installing this piece and this piece. I've got all the holes drilled out, I can go ahead and chop it where I have these little chop marks. So there's one there, one on this back side, one over here as well, and that should help with any fitment issues that I have right now. Once I get that chopped, I'll come over here and then make a line so I can cut this whole piece as well. Now that we've got the fender cut up, we can go ahead and install it back on the car and see if we need to trim up anything else. Basically where I'm at right now is I went ahead and cut this piece here. I may end up actually extending it all the way down so I have a lot more flex room, but basically the plan is to push that back and then have this guy fold onto it and then re-fiberglass this section. I don't know if that's going to work, but that's kind of the plan. I just went ahead and cut it so I had a little bit more flex and relief area. But this is completely mounted now, and I think that it looks fine for the most part. Decided to go ahead and take off the side skirt, and basically what I'm going to do is use this little fiberglass Bondo resin stuff and fill in the cracks where it completely broke in half. This probably isn't the proper way to do it, but I'm going to start on the back side. I've got the front side taped up like that, and like that it just kind of came apart. But basically I'm going to lay a bunch on this back side, try to see if it'll bond itself together, and then I'll go back on the front side and do some more body work on it. Again, that's probably not the correct way of doing it, but I'm just gonna do it and see what happens. Front basically done, we can go ahead and start working on the rear. The only issue I have with the rear right now is it's about 1 inch to 2 inches off. So if I put it on here, since this kit was made for a GTR, not a GTST, there's going to be a slight gap like that. My plan, because I think this is way too wide, my plan is to cut about 1 inch off of here all the way around, and that should hopefully bring it in about 1/2 inch to 1 inch or so. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I mean, we're pretty close down there, and I just wanna suck it in a little bit more. So it's also not as wide, because again, this thing is massive, especially compared to the front. And I feel like if it was closer in, it would just look a little bit better, and I wouldn't have to run massive wheel spacers just to make the wheels fit. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Front's looking good. Now it's time to do the rear.
Take me higher, I'm Sunday, you love
I think that actually ended up working out perfectly because the gas cap is now sitting pretty much where it needs to. There's some trimming that I need to do just to like even it out, but that opens and closes just fine. The gap right here is much closer than what it was before, especially on this back side. So I mean, that worked really, really well. It did bring it in probably about an inch or so. So it's not terrible, but let's see what it looks like from the front. So there is the wide body. It still pokes out quite a bit in the rear. It's gonna be hard to see, but I think that's a lot more doable than what it was before. Went ahead and decided to put all of the body panels back on off camera. So we've got the rear spat on. It's looking pretty good. It is off right there. So we're basically gonna radius that out completely to match that whole body line. I think if we cut off right there, we'll be good. And then same thing on this side. This one's not as bad, but basically same process, just cut that guy right there. We already started the front. The front's not looking bad, but it does still need some more adjustments. But overall, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Now that I trimmed everything on the fender and the rear quarter, it actually looks like it'll probably fit. I would like to get a piece of aluminum or something to go from here to here, just so it's a flush wheel well, I guess. But I don't know if I'm gonna go that crazy. And then what I'm debating on right here is getting the fuel door to come out on this side so it sits right here and opens up. That way I'm not reaching inside of there. You have a massive hole here. I think it would just look better. But again, I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna go about doing that just yet. But look how wide it is, Jesus Christ. It's still insanely wide. While I am still here today, I am gonna go ahead and trim those last little pieces. That way that's done entirely. And then we can kind of call it on this side. I do need to get fiberglass because the fiberglass putty, the Bondo stuff, that's not gonna be enough for what I wanna do, but it is working. It's holding it nice and strong there. There's tape just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, but I obviously need to get fiberglass to reinforce that. Same thing for every spot that I cut like this. I'll need to get fiberglass to reinforce it as well. I'll go ahead and at least do the trimming today, get it knocked out. That way it's a little bit less work that I have to do next time. Radius right now, and it's looking really good. That's the front side, and here is the rear. As you can tell, there's still some metal that I have to bend back, and that'll kind of fix some of the spots where it looks like it's off, but I think that matches the radius pretty well. I won't know until I do the fiberglass on top of it and remove the tape, but I think that's good. So a little bit more body work on those two areas and the front, but I think overall it's looking good. For a cheap knockoff kit like this, I was expecting terrible quality, but it's not as bad as I thought. I mean, it's terrible, I'll be honest. The kit does not fit that well at all, but it's exactly what I needed it to look like or what I needed it to do in order to make the custom modifications that I have to fit this wide body properly. Now, some of you might be asking, why didn't I just do the proper Rocket Bunny kit and give myself less work? Well, one, I wanted to keep this side skirt because I like the way it looks a lot more. It's still the same flat concept, but I just like that look overall versus the Rocket Bunny style, and I wanted to kind of teach myself how to do bodywork. So that's the exact reason why I went the really, really cheap route versus going the very expensive route and cutting up something that it's like $10,000. So I'd rather do this, spend like $300, and then do it myself. Now, the next time we're gonna be working on this car, we are gonna be working on this side here and getting it all finalized and done. That way it matches this side, and then we'll be basically, I'm gonna say 75% done, which probably only like 50% done on the whole car, because there's a lot more that I still have to do when it comes to fiberglass, paint, and potentially molding stuff or doing hidden hardware in the front. I don't know how crazy I wanna get with this kit. This car is going to be kind of a drift car, which I don't know how to drift, but it's gonna be perfect to learn on, and that's kind of why I'm doing all this. So I don't care how it looks, I don't care if it's done the wrong way. I do want it to be kind of correct, but it's just me learning on how to do Bodywork. That way, if I do drift this car and damage it, I can be the one to fix it, not pay somebody to do it, because then that's just a waste of money. And before I leave, I do have my other SKYLINE outside, and it has the white front bumper that's actually gonna go on this. The gray one that was on this car is gonna go on the white one. So while I'm here, I'm just gonna go ahead and take it off and put it on this car. That way we can get a final look at how everything's gonna fit. And then next time I'm here, I'll bring the panel that has this. I completely forgot about it at home, and yeah, sad day I wasn't able to install it, but at least we got the fenders done. And next time we'll, like I said, wrap this side up. I'm pretty excited now that I have the body panels pretty much done. Anyway, let's go grab that bumper. Oh, hello Porsche. Got the front bumper kind of installed. That side's pretty much installed, but this side is not, and that's because I have to trim some stuff underneath. The front bash bar here, pretty much right on this side here, is preventing me from lifting that all the way into place. So I'll have to trim that next time I'm here. But that's pretty much what it looks like with every body panel on, I guess, in a way, kinda. I mean, it's not all the way installed, but it is. We have to lift this up, obviously, and then again, radius this off to here. And I think that'll be it on this whole side. Besides, obviously, fiberglass and a whole lot of other work. But overall, I mean, it's looking pretty good. I'm excited for it. With this car getting the Fast and Furious style livery, I may end up getting a new set of wheels just so they match the actual Too Fast, Too Furious R34 SKYLINE. It's not an R34, but we're gonna pretend it is one, and we're gonna pretend that it's the modern day equivalent, which it's nowhere near as modern as the R34 is. But still, I'm really excited to get this car up and going. It still has a few issues here and there, like it overheats whenever it drives for a long period of time, and it still has a breaking up issue, which I still have no clue how to fix that yet. But at least it'll look kind of cool whenever we're done with it. And once we're done with it, then, you know, I'll go back and fix whatever issues might come up. But anyway, that is going to be it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the car content today. I know I didn't get too far on it, but I'm actually liking the way it looks. I was debating on getting rid of this hood. With the body kit now, I may actually keep it. Still on the fence about that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I have a carbon fiber one that I can turn into a forged carbon look, but again, I may end up running with this hood just because it does look a lot better now that there is wide body. But still, I also kind of hate the hood, so I'm not entirely sure just yet. But yeah, like I said, that is going to be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, leave a thumbs up. Comment down below on what you want to see next. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. All right, later guys.